Well, John, how's this past couple of weeks been for you?
Yeah, it's been good. I think we've needed it to get a few people back from injuries, and I think for a few of the new lads that we signed towards the back end of the window to get them used to the training and used to the way that we want to set up. And I think it's been really good from that point of view. We're obviously missing a couple of the players through international duty that have been away and been playing, I think, which is real positive. So once we get everybody back, I think, in the building tomorrow, it's going to be a really good end to the week.
What's the squad looking like now compared to a couple of weeks ago in terms of those injuries and people who are back in training?
I think we are now more or less have a fully fit squad. I think everybody's trained this week, or everybody will train this week apart from Colby, and that includes a couple of lads who won't be fit enough to play at the weekend, but they'll be ready in a couple of weeks' time. So yeah, the issue now for us is probably going to be sort of team selection, squad selection going into the next game and going into the next few games. We may pick up a couple of injuries in the meantime, but as we are now, fully fit squad.
Is that a nice problem to have for you now?
Yeah, it's a much better problem than what we've been faced over the past few weeks, where we've just had far too many injuries in certain positions, and we've ended up patching together a back four for, I think, pretty much all four of the first games and first league games anyway. So it's a much different position to be in. We've just been talking about team selection up in the office there, and it is a very, very different prospect.
You mentioned him just a minute ago, Colby. How's he doing?
Yeah, Colby's doing really well. He's been out doing some light jogging. Still have to be very, very cautious with him, so he's still in his trainings, but we'll progress as quickly as we possibly can with him and then go from there.
You described this period in the press as sort of a mini pre-season. Have you got out of it what you aim for? Yeah,
I think you always want as much time as possible on the training pitch with the boys, and we usually don't have that during the season because of the amount of games that we play. But it's been a really nice opportunity, I think, to actually have 2 weeks worth of training. We haven't had the full squad because of various things with international duty and players coming back from injury, but this week's been a lot better than it was last week, I think, because we've had the players back in, and we've had quite a few numbers when we've been out there. And some of the new lads, if you look at Jacob for instance, Jacob coming back and getting the first sort of training minutes that he's had this week's been really positive, been really beneficial for him. The likes of Freddie Potts, the likes of Abdullah Kamara, all of a sudden they've had a couple more weeks worth of training where they've come in last minute, been involved in games, but not really had too much in terms of the way that we want to play and the way we want to go about things. So it's been really good from that point of view.
And personnel aside, what have you been able to get into the boys?
It's been nice to have the time on the training pitch with those lads, and just work on a few of the things that I don't think we've done particularly well over the first couple of weeks of the season. I think there's plenty to improve upon. Some of the performances have been all right, but some of the performances have been good, and some of the performances haven't been so good. So we've got a lot to work on, we've got a lot to improve upon, and it's been about doing that.
The Championship obviously doesn't get any easier. West Brom at the weekend, another side that are going to be up there come the end of the season. So what are we expecting from those?
Yeah, another side that were playoff semi-finalists last year. They've got a really good squad, some really good individuals, and very, very well coached. I know that's a sort of theme that we speak about every week, but certainly a side that's now sort of a good way into their development under the head coach, and they play some really, really good football, very, very solid and very, very experienced Championship players and some Premier League players in the side. So we expect a really tough test.
How has the game being on a Sunday sort of differed the schedule?
It's just knocked everything back a day, so nothing too dramatic, I think, other than the fact we're going to be off on Friday, in on Saturday, and then we'll have the game Sunday.
And just finally, another really tough test in front of a home crowd. So how important is it for them to be behind the team for the sort of duration of the 90 minutes, as they always are?
Yeah, I mean, Sunderland was a really good day for that, even though we lost the game and we were down 3-0, but the crowd was still behind us, and it was it was a really good atmosphere in the second half. I think what we probably need to do is try and replicate that on the pitch and make sure that we give the fans something to cheer about, and we start playing a bit more front-footed, attacking, aggressive football. And I think the crowd definitely at Fratton Park will get behind us then, because ever since I've been here, it's been amazing to play there. The atmosphere has always been brilliant, and we just will need to try and get some of that momentum back into the side and back into the home games this year.